Turbulence is said to be known to be the disruption of airflow, but the smoother the air, the better the flight. When there's disruption of airflow or air current during the course of a flight, then there is a high possibility of turbulence. Turbulence cannot be attached or could be blamed to be the problem of an airline or an aircraft, or probably at the proficiency of a pilot. A candid example is if you are driving a car and peradventure you made a turn into a road which is bad. You definitely know that when you drive, it won't be smooth. There will be a little bit of topsy-turvy left and right movement, and this car will probably be moving, and you might probably be thinking about your shock absorbers. But that does not mean the car is bad. That does not mean the driver is bad. That does not mean you abandon the car and leave. So that is how turbulence is with respect to an aircraft. They are getting into an atmosphere, into a part of the atmosphere whereby the current within those parts, basically due to thunderstorm and meteorological and the kind of cumulonimbus clouds that bring thunderstorm, is at that point and is causing a variation, a disruption in that smooth flow of current. The first question I was asked was that, can turbulence cause a plane crash or bring down aircraft? That answer is actually no, it cannot do that. You can only experience a drop which shows a loss in height, and basically this is due to the topsy-turvy moment while the pilot is trying to navigate through that air disruption. Another question that was asked was, why is it that you probably bought some aircraft, probably based on size, the plane wants to drop, the loads are dropping down, everywhere is just scattered, people are shouting, the plane is shaking vigorously. Basically, you have three types of turbulence. Basically, you have the mild, you have the moderate, and you have the extreme turbulence. So depending on the kind of turbulence you encounter during your course of flight will determine how the jerking or how the plane moves and how not up in reducing or eradicating turbulence. If the variation of the air current at that point in time is crazy, is so mad, or like, let's use the normal language, if the variation of that air current at that point is strong and you're probably experiencing severe turbulence, the size of the aircraft might not matter. The speed the pilot will use in moving through that turbulence might actually matters on the impact of how you feel. Probably a slight jerk, a movement, a big one, a slight strain to the seatbelt. But probably maybe if the aircraft is smaller, it could be able to move with high speed and navigate. And if it's bigger, it has to take its time to get that speed, and you feel it a lot. Or the position of where you are, probably at the back, you might feel that strong turbulence. So from that question, we have three types of turbulence. We have the mild, moderate, and the extreme turbulence. So people ask, what is a mild? A mild turbulence is just a little strain. Sometimes you don't really feel it. Some will feel it, but frequent flyers will not really feel that it's kind of turbulence. You just feel a slight strain, and it's actually negligible for most people, and you might not have cause to worry. Well, for mild turbulence, it might be a little bit scary for kids. Just a slight strain, like I said, a little or negligible loss in altitude. And for adults, you might not really feel it, just a slight strain, a little bit of stress. You won't actually feel it, but for kids you are, but it's negligible loss of altitude. That's what a mild turbulence is all about. Then, what is moderate turbulence? A moderate turbulence could probably last for 10 to 15 minutes. It could actually spill your drink. You could actually feel that pressure of your body to the seatbelt, and you could, and you definitely notice that loss in altitude. The airframe might make some noise. You could actually hear that noise from the airframe. That is the body of the aircraft. That is what moderate is all about. Then we now go to the extreme. I know you'll probably be scared of the extreme turbulence, but the extreme turbulence is where you hear people cry and shout and pray to God for everything. One thing that is significant about extreme turbulence is that you would experience a loss of height of up to 100 feet or more. If it's crazy, there will be so much stress on the airframe, on the body of the aircraft. The airframe will definitely make a large noise. The aircraft will be making so much noise. There will be so much stress on the body on the aircraft. If you don't have your seatbelt on, then you might fall down, and if the baggage compartments are not securely locked, bags might be flying out, and it is known to probably cause fatal injuries, injuries, wound are some of those things that you could experience from extreme turbulence, apart from the loss of height. So pilots take their time to probably escape that area or quickly lose altitude to an altitude whereby they feel the air current is not disturbed, or the air current is actually not affected, or might be mild or moderate. And like you all know, aircraft are constructed to withstand harsh, extreme weather. So even with the extreme kind of turbulence, the aircraft is able to withstand that, and no crash will happen, and no aircraft will drop down. So that information whereby people go through a flight and they tell you, oh, they were saved by God today, they escaped death, their aircraft wanted to drop, it fell and the pilot took it up. Hey, brothers and sisters, that is not true. It just went through some form of turbulence, probably severe, moderate, or extreme turbulence. But the pilot is trained, the aircraft is equipped, constructed to withstand any form of pressure, any form of adverse weather condition. So be rest assured that nothing, and I say again, nothing will actually happen to you. You will definitely come back safe on ground. Although, based on the form of turbulence, injuries might be there, but the plane will not crash and the plane will not drop down because you are safe. Flying at night, turbulence is better. Research has shown that during the day, turbulence is actually extreme because you have basic form of weather phenomenon happening during the day. But at night, kind of smooth, cool, calm, you probably experience mild or moderate. Is that for you to experience a strong indication of turbulence is thunderstorm. Could last for 10 to 15 minutes, and you basically know that thunderstorm move from the east to the west. So it's an indication. When you have it to the east, you know it's probably moving to the west. So it help the pilot in navigating their way around that thunderstorm, whereby they could probably experience turbulence on that route. It's said to be worse at the back of that plane. So people probably sitting at the rear will probably experience more turbulence than people actually in front, in the middle. So for people that like to sit at the back, turbulence is actually of the extreme type at the back. So it's not that it's advisable, but the main thing you need to understand is everybody's safe. Nothing is going to happen to you, whether you're sitting at the back or at the front. But it's basically some research, and people just found out like, okay, people sitting at the back experience it more. They feel the pressure of that more because of the aircraft gliding into the air. But the basic impact you feel in turbulence is just the sharp loss of altitude and a little bit of slight stress or strain to the seat belt, to your body. So basically, if there's a seatbelt indication during the course of the flight, you just need to adhere strictly to that, because the pilots, through the weather radar on board the FMS, is actually saying that they might probably experience some kind of turbulence, then you need to sit down. That's not actually the time you want to go to the low, you want to do this or that. Because if the kind of turbulence they experience or they peradventure go through is extreme, then you're talking about you being injured, having wounds and everything, which you will not like, and which will probably be a liability to the company. So, turbulence is just a variation, is a change, is a disruption of airflow, which might cause loss of air, slight strain to the stress and strain, and probably cause injury when it's kind of severe. So, at every point in time, when you experience turbulence, definitely know that the pilot is highly trained, the aircraft is equipped, the construction of aircraft is to withstand all form of pressure, all form of adverse meteorological condition or weather condition to keep you safe. So, today on Aviation and Other Jargons, a little bit of turbulence. I've tried my best not to bore you with the technical or the jargons that will probably lose your way, to probably just talk and gist with you and let you know this is basically. So there might be, you will probably experience a situation whereby I'm talking about the same thing twice to remind you, to let you know that this is what you might encounter, and it's not that you are going to die or you're going to have a crash. So till next time, go for Scott. Bye.